Hey Kanto crew, welcome back to Kanto Housewife. You know I have been upgrading my appliances, so today I'm trying the Magnifique clay oven and we're gonna do an unboxing together and use every single mode. Alright, so I got this from Amazon for $151 after the 20% off because of Labor Day weekend, and I picked the olive color. I adjusted the angle so you can see better. It's a very nice green color. Bachelor? Oh, there's a storage rack. I like it. Very nice. I actually wanted to get a pot holder perfectly. Ooh. And then this one looked like it's the rest if you want to use it as a serving pot. Of course, the unit. Really like it. This is the bottom. And of course the heating unit. Look like the heating area is actually pretty large. So let's open up this baby. Almost forgot this is tape on the top. And it has the instruction guide and look like a beef stew menu. If you want to use it as a Dutch oven, it's fit in the Braise air fryer. So I read the instruction menu. The first thing I recommend is wiping the whole unit and wash all the parts. So I'm just taking a damp cloth and wipe around. And of course, I organized the cord as usual. This is how I know this is officially mine. Alright, so one of the first thing it asked us to do is actually heat up the unit for 10 minutes. It didn't mention about the temperature or what you want the cover on. It just said without food. So I dried everything out already and I'm gonna do it. So the first issue I see is that the cord is actually pretty short. This is about like 2 arm length for me. And it doesn't reach my plug on the center island, so I have to move it to the back where the counter is. So the first thing I'm gonna do is plug it in. We have a loud beep. So I'm gonna press power on and we're gonna go to Sauté mode and I'm gonna start. It does have a progress bar and I'm gonna start my timer for 10 minutes. So I actually have a thing that say add food, and here is my timer. So it takes like roughly 8 minutes-ish to heat up to get to high, and I'm gonna set another timer right now to burn off the residual. It does have that chemical smells like the instruction book was saying, so pretty normal for first use when we're using hot plate. I didn't realize they actually have a timer right here, so we'll come back after 10 minutes. Okay, so it's 10 minutes. I'm just gonna turn it off and let it cool down. I'm gonna wash it again after everything cooled down, and then I'm gonna cook curry chicken tonight, so stay tuned. Let's start strong with the rich aromatic Indian curry chicken. Perfect for testing the saute mode. Here is the ingredient list. This is enough to feed my family of 6. First, we're gonna cut the chicken into 1.5 inches cube, and then we're gonna marinate it for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Peel the potatoes, rinse them, and then cut them into 1.5 inch cubes. Turn sauté mode on high and then add oil. This is about 3 cups of used oil. While waiting, peel the onion and then cut it into large chunks, about 1.5 inches. Remove the roots of the lemongrass. Cut them into shorter sticks and then smash them with the knife's butt. Crush and peel the garlic and set them aside.
Combine all the curry sauce ingredient together and make it into a paste with some hot water. And have to use Indian curry powder and Mexican chili powder. When the oil is hot, shallow fry the potato for 3 to 5 minutes or until they're golden brown. This helps keep the potato in shape. Then we're gonna shallow fry the onion until it's suikun. Remove the onion pieces and the oil. Add chicken, lemongrass, and chili if you're using any. Stir fry them until the chicken is brown on the outside. It takes about 3 minutes.
이거咖喱雞煮雞 chicken 你燒啊喐啊要唔要試下喐係咯喐啊要唔要掂咪係咯係喎叻喎onion都識喎小心啊
Add onion and curry paste and then mix them well. Add chicken stock. Make sure you deglaze the bottom, cover the lid, and bring it to a boil on high and cook for 45 minutes on low heat. Stir occasionally to prevent burning. Add more water or chicken stock if the mixture gets too thick, but it didn't happen with my case. After 45 minutes, add the potato and coconut milk, bring it to a boil on high, and then cook for an additional 30 minutes on low. Stir occasionally to prevent it from burning on the bottom. The best part is, when you're done, you can serve the whole pot directly on the table with rice, naan, or vegetables. It's so rich and smells super good. In case if you ask, no, the bottom didn't burn and it looked just like new on the hot plate.
This is what it looked like after dinner. So far so good. Let's see if I can get the curry stain off.
Next, we're gonna test out the white rice mode with the Hong Kong classic, Deluxe Chinese Claypot rice. Here are the ingredient list. I marinated the pork and mushroom for at least an hour before I started cooking. Soak the dry scallop and shiitake mushroom overnight with cold water and save the soaking water. Now we're gonna layer everything inside the pot. The base would be 2 cups of rinsed rice, topped with Chinese sausage, Chinese pork belly, marinated pork, marinated mushrooms, and the dried scallop. Pour in the 2 cups of mushroom and scallop soaking water. This will really increase the flavor. Cover the lid and press white rice mode. It functions like a rice cooker, so you don't have to worry about setting the timer. Once the mode is over, it will automatically go to keep warm. While waiting, we're gonna make the Claypot soy sauce. It's sweet and savory. Dissolve the sugar in hot water until it's completely melted. Mix in the light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, oyster sauce, and sesame oil until it's completely incorporated. When the cycle is over, I just cut the sausage and the pork belly into little pieces and mix everything together. Since we're using the clay pot, it have a crispy rice bottom. And that's the smell of my hometown. Rice is perfectly cooked, the bottom is crisp, just like the traditional clay pot, but zero babysitting. And no, it's very easy to clean up and there's no burnt. Next, we're gonna try the braise mode with the red wine beef stew. Here is the ingredient list. Preheat the Magnifique on sauté mode high. Add oil, then sear the beef chunks in batches until it's brown on all sides. Remove and set aside. In the same pot, sauté garlic and onion until fragrant. Add in bay leaf and thyme and stir for 1 minute until fragrant. Deglaze with a little bit of the chicken stock. Scrape up all the brown beets and reduce it a little bit. Add tomato paste, stir for a minute until fragrant, and then return the beef to the pot. Add salt, pepper, red wine, chicken stock, and mix well. Add soy sauce, mix well, cover the lid, and cook on braise mode for 1 hour. When the cycle is over, add carrot, potato, cover the lid, and set the braise mode for 1 hour. When the cycle is over, you can serve it with French bread, buttered noodle, or any toppings that you want. Next, we're gonna test the brown rice mode with my favorite Korean dish, Bibimbap. Here's the ingredient list. Soak the shiitake mushroom in cold water overnight to rehydrate them. Save the water to cook the rice. This is another 1-pot rice and I'm using mixed rice as the base. Pour in the mushroom soaking water, layer all the ingredient on top, close the lid, and start the unit on brown rice mode. The unit functions like a rice cooker, so once it's done, it will jump to keep warm. While waiting, we're gonna make the bibimbap sauce. Basically, combine all the ingredients together in a small bowl, mix well, and it's ready to serve. When the cycle is over, give everything a quick mix, top with a fried egg, and serve with the bibimbap sauce. For the slow cook mode, we're going creamy with the butter chicken. Here are the ingredient list. Marinate the chicken in yogurt and all the spices for at least an hour. While waiting, we're gonna blend the diced tomato, garlic, ginger, all the spices until it's nice and smooth. Turn your Magnifique to sauté mode high. Add oil and then cook onion until it's soft and golden. Stir in the blend sauce and sauté them until fragrance. Add the marinated chicken to the pot, coat very well with the sauce, top with butter and then cover the lid. Then switch the unit to slow cook mode on low and cook it for 5.5 hours until the chicken is tender and the sauce thickened. To truly test out the slow cook function, I did not stir or open the lid during the time at all. Nothing was burned and all the chicken were cooked. Once the cycle is over, I added heavy cream and mixed well. Leave it in the pot for another 5 minutes and you can serve it with rice or naan. This is how the pot looked like after dinner. Next up, let's make something cozy and simple. We're gonna use the oatmeal to make maple pecan crunch oatmeal. Here's the ingredient list. Again, this is one dump and go meal. The unit functions like a rice cooker, so you just put everything in, mix well, cover it with the lid, and turn on the oatmeal. When the cycle is over, stir in some chopped pecan and you can serve extra maple drizzle and toasted nut. It's cozy and sweet and is perfect for fall. Next, let's put the sauté mode into real test. We're gonna make this IKEA style Swedish meatball. I was craving for some the other day, but instead of going to the actual store, I got the recipe from the official website, so all recipe credit goes to them.
Ground pork and ground beef. These I got from frozen from my meal prep, so I'm just gonna put it out.
I finally chopped some onion and garlic, and then I mixed all the ingredients together. After everything is incorporated, we're gonna shape the mixture into small round balls. Place them on a clean baking tray or plate, cover it, and then store it in the fridge for at least 2 hours. This will help them hold the shape while cooking. If you want to do it the traditional IKEA way, you're supposed to brown all the meat and then bake it. But I'm making a big batch, so I'm using my mother-in-law's way, which is shallow frying. I'm gonna pour in about 4 cups of oil into the cooker, and then I'm gonna turn on the sauté mode on high. When the oil reaches about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, gently lower the meatball in batches. Do not overcrowd. Fry them for 4 to 6 minutes. Turn occasionally until they're golden brown on all sides. Remove and place on a paper towel to drain excess oil. This is so good and juicy. To make it for full meal, I'm actually boiling some pasta and I'm gonna make the cream sauce. Here is the ingredient list. First, we're gonna melt the butter. When it's all melted, whisk in the flour and cook them until they're lightly golden. Slowly mix in the chicken stock, soy sauce, mustard, and cream. Stir until they are smooth and thickened. You can add the fried meatball back into the sauce and simmer for 3 to 5 minutes on low heat until they soak up all the creamy flavor. But I'm just pouring everything on top. It still tastes really good and make a perfect dinner. For the finale, we're gonna combine the pasta mode and sauté mode for my favorite creamy vodka pasta. Here is the ingredient list. First, we're gonna cook the spaghetti on pasta mode. Again, it acts like the rice cooker, so you just have to press start and it will automatically do the cooking. When the cycle is over, we're gonna drain the pasta, dry the pot, and then we're gonna start the cooker on saute mode high. Add oil, and then we're gonna saute the onion, garlic, and ground beef. Season with salt, pepper, and a little Italian seasoning. Add in zucchini and tomato paste and saute them until fragrance. Deglaze the pot with vodka and let it cook for 2 minutes. Add cream and cheese. Mix well and toss the pasta in. Top with red chili powder flakes, parsley, more cheese, and your one-pot pasta is ready to serve. After using every single mode with the Magnifique clay oven, from rice to pasta to braised beef, here's my honest pros and cons. My favorite part of this clay pot is that it's non-toxic and easy to clean. The bowl retains heat beautifully and it cleans up easily once it's cold. I like that it have 8 versatile cooking modes so you can shallow fry, braise, make oatmeal, and even bake. My favorite part is the oat, rice, and pasta mode because they cook automatically, so no need to stand by the stove. After talking about what I like about it, here are some considerations. First, the cord is really short. The manuals say that it's for safety in case of tripping, but that means you will need an extension cord for tabletop cooking if you want hot pot or Korean barbecue at the dining table. The second thing is, since it's a clay pot, it does take time to heat up and cool down. The clay pot whole heats very well. It's great for flavor, but not for quick tasks. You'll need careful cleaning, avoid sudden temperature changes, or soaking it in cold water to prevent cracks. Alright, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you liked the content. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other playlist. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!